Comme ça, je pourrais tester si c'est une boîte.
Ouais, voilà. Bon, allez, j'y retourne. Je suis en train de faire mon éditeur de modèle 3D.
Je te souhaite beaucoup de force et d'honneur.
Pas mal, pas mal. Okay, so let's get back to the business. What we're going to do for now is just make this cube smaller to make it a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. And then what I'm going to do for now is just every time there are three points, link them up as a triangle, and we'll go from there. Sounds like a good starting point. Doobly doobly doo. So, first for the draw controller, to make it smaller, I just need to make this a smaller number. That was simple enough. And then the next bit is, if for any reason there are more than 3 points, or 3 points, at least 3 points, create a triangle. So I'm just going to do this as triangles. And how does Love Graphics want triangle? So it literally just needs a whole bunch of points in a row, and well, we can fill it or line it. Okay, we're gonna go for fills for now. So if the length, whoa, that's confusing music. Okay, if the length of points is superior or equal to 3, then we're going to we can just iterate over the first 3 points. So for I3, and create a new triangle. So local try equals an empty object, which we're going to go ahead and add into the triangles. Local try is an empty object, and that's just going to be a list of line numbers. So that's the 3 points, so that's P, and then this is going to be the index of the thing in the point. And so basically it's going to be table insert try, and it's going to be points P I. So it's going to take the ith point of the pth point, the ith number of the pth point, and add that into try. So it's going to go, oh actually this is going to be 1 to 3 as well. There we go. So it's a triangle is three sets of 3 numbers. Cool, cool. And can that actually be passed as an array? No, we actually have to need to write out the whole thing. So let's just do that here. So this is for points, and let's set the color of the triangles to be, I don't know, let's make them kind of like a turquoisey blue. For IV and I pairs triangles, do lava graphics triangle. Oh, forgot to add that the thing and remove the 3 points. So triangles, sorry, table, insert triangles, try, and then a quick, oh, let's do this. No, actually, no, let's not do that. Let's do this. So that way we get rid of those first 3 points. In the future, we're actually going to keep those because we might need those points again for another polygon. But for now, we're going to get rid of those because I just want to go 1, 2, 3, pop, 1, 2, 3, pop. Okay. So here's our triangle. So love graphics triangle, draw mode, fill, and then it's going to be just a list of all those points, which is kind of annoying that I can't just go like triangles V, but let's just do that. Never mind. Triangles. You know what? Make this a bit smaller. Local T equals triangles of I. Oh, actually, that's really V, isn't it? So we don't need I. Let's get rid of that. T. And there's going to be T1, and there's going to be a whole bunch of these. T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7, T8, and finally T9, and let's go ahead and test that. So as I was saying, point 1, point 2, point 3, and we have a triangle. So now I literally have the start of a modeling program here. So in LoVR, all triangles are, shapes are two-faced, which normally doesn't happen in 3D graphics. Normally things are one way round only, but this is sort of like a direct drawing kind of thing. So it doesn't do what's called backface culling. So I think what we're going to need to do is actually add that in somehow, and when we do the mesh thing, and figure that out in a bit. So it's not a worry for now, but it will be one later. So the reason we want to keep the points as well is, like, say I wanted to create a pyramid shape, so I'm going to do like a tap, but then to create the pyramid shape I need to put another point here. It needs to be like perfect, and it's just going to be hard to actually put it perfect, and it'll never actually be 100% perfect. Like there's a space there, and there's actually like a gap between. So it's actually impossible for me to. I mean, it's technically mathematically possible for me to click in the same place twice, but we all know that's never going to happen. I'm also going to add the shader back so that we have better shading, so we can actually see where things are. But this is nice. This is like a little piece of modeling software already. Here, do a quad. That's a quad. And a spiral around this. Woo! Stuff happening. 3D editing software. Okay, let's get out of here. So first thing we're going to want to do is set ourselves to. I'm going to run out of music real quick, aren't I? I'll know with this. Let's go for the. Atlantic Artifacts by Glass Body. Here's our next music. Okay. So first we said we're going to put the shader back. And next, what I think I should do, instead of having like just press to do the thing, I'm going to actually like have like a selected points for a face thing. So I can place as many points as I want and then select them to draw a face. Let's do that. So this is points all points, and we're going to go selected equals, so none of those. Yeah. And so it's basically, instead of if points is superior to 3, it's if selected is superior to 3. Yeah. So this just creates points. Currently, it's only when trigger is pressed. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do selections. Maybe what I can do is simply just, if you try to click too close to a point that's already there, then you're trying to create a face. So we can do that maybe. So what we're going to do is create a real quick distance function. There's probably actually one already in here in CPML. CPML vector 3. Ah, fuck it. Let's just do a function dist p1, p2. So it's going to give me 2 points, and it's going to give me the distance between those 2 points. So the way that works is it's going to be math square root of, so it's going to be 3 coordinates, so it's going to be dx is going to be p1 of 1 minus p2 of 1. Same thing in y and z. So put 2 and 3 here. Y, z. And so that's going to be square root of that times that plus that plus that times that. And that is Pythagoras. We're just going to want to return that. Cool. This music is really, really good. I love this. Oh, hi Hugo. So as we were saying, we get the distance here. So basically what we're going to be doing, so we're not going to add this, we're going to log something else instead. So the first thing we want to do is create a point from that. So local p is equal to this xyz. And then what we're going to do now is if the distance between this XYZ is smaller than yay distance, and we're just going to add this as a constant over here. Local select distance, and then that's going to be like 0.3. That's 30 centimeters. Let's go 10 centimeters. It's fine. So if ever the distance between P and any other point is, actually, yeah, I want to get the closest one, and if the closest one is lower than 0.1, then that's the one that's being selected. So local S is null for now, and the distance is math huge. And then so for every point that exists, call it P2. I'm going to print it. So for every point that exists, what I want to do is, yeah, get the distance between P. Yeah, so local D equals, this is actually min dist. Oh, I actually had two things called dist as well. I should really pay attention for that. Local D equals, so it's going to be distance between P and P2, and if ever D is smaller than min dist, then S equals P, so that means the one we're trying to select is going to be P, and the new min distance is going to be D. And so, oh, sorry, I've been doing a lot of JavaScript recently, so that's kind of messing me up. So now we have two possible behaviors. If min dist, if the minimum distance is lower than the select distance, then in which case we want to select S. And otherwise we're going to insert a new point. And so to select it, what we do is we go selected, sorry, table, insert, selected, S. Also, we want to make it so that, oh, you know what we should do? We should make it so that if the one that you're trying to select is already selected, we should deselect it instead. So we're just going to real quick do a little local already equals false. Then quickly check out everything that's in the selected table. And if cell is equal to S, so basically if the one we're trying to select is already in the table, then already becomes true. And so here we have two possible behaviors. Oh yeah, we do need the I as well. We're going to keep that separately. Local already I, so the index of the already. So if already, then we've got an else and end. So if there's already one in there, we're going to go table, remove, selected, already I. Actually, we could probably just do that right here. That's much simpler. So if selected equals S, so we actually don't need the boolean. We don't need this. Boop, boop, boop. I, and then return. And so if we manage to get out of that loop, then we need to go table insert selected S. Okay, and we're going to really quickly just add one of these, but for selected instead, so we can actually visualize that point for us. And we're going to make that green, and we're going to make it slightly bigger. Let's check that real quick. As I said, real quick. Then expecting to do, I'm going to do a 91. Oh yeah. For realsies? Oh yeah. And okay. Point, point, point. Well, that's not good. Okay, so anyway, that was an error. We crashed the thing. Oh yeah. No. Table selected. Oh! Yeah, okay, that's dumb. Yeah, we want to keep that as point. Yeah, that was just stupid. Okay, yeah, so it needs to be actually S. So 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, select that one. So we're not actually, yeah, it's not working the way I was expecting it to. That's the one. There we go. So now if we're close to one of those points, we select all three of them. So this means now that I can actually make a really nice pyramid. Because we're going to be selecting the same points over and over. So let's do that real quick. So point, 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 select, select, select. And now I can do like, I can actually pre-select those. And So you can double click if you want to go quicker. Oh yeah, it did make the point. So yeah, so if I want to quickly make a triangle, I can double click, and it makes it straight away. And so that means when I'm trying to make say a cube kind of shape, then I can do like that. Oh, I should have double clicked there. Anyway, double click, 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 double click, 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 and now I'm making sort of cube shapes. Click, 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 double click, click. Oh, this is a really horrible cube. Okay, this is super basic stuff now, but it's actually working out kind of well. I'm going to add the shading back in and possibly even draw the wireframe as well, so we can actually see the wireframe on top of whatever it is we're drawing. So we said that we put the shading on this, didn't we? At least I think I did. But anyway, we got kind of basic modeling going on now, which is nice. That's pretty fucking awesome. I should probably also draw like a wireframe sphere, which is like the select sphere, and sort of highlight these when I get close, so we can actually see that I'm selecting a point. Because right now, like it's like here I'm not selecting, here I am, and you kind of have to just get a feel for it, which is kind of messy as it stands. So like sometimes I might just like misclick and go, oh no, I wanted to select that point, but I wasn't close enough. I don't know. Yeah. Coolio. So in this controller thing here, I have access to the controller. So in the same way, I'm going to want to do so I'm going to first, oh yeah, the shader needs to go before the triangles. Because we wanted to see the shading on the triangles. So that was one of the things I wanted. Another one was to draw a sphere. Is it possible to draw a wire sphere? Points, line, triangle, plane, cube, box, arc, circle, cylinder, sphere. Oh, I can apply a texture to it, but I can't. That's a bit of a bummer. Draw a wire box. Or a wire cube. I can draw basically a wire everything except the sphere, apparently. So lines, obviously. Triangles, they can be wired. Plane could be wired. An arc, that can be wired or stroked. Circle, wire or stroke. And for some reason, cylinder and sphere don't get that option. I guess I'll need to make that at some point. We could probably also just do like a circle that's sort of like always facing the camera. Let's try that. Because we do have angle, AX and Y, and then we can use the quad library to do an angle that points towards me. So let's quickly do that. So love graphics circle, add that in here. Draw mode line. XYZ is correct. That actually does the orientation that we have currently. Let's do that like that. Segments we're not going to specify, and the radius is going to be the select distance. Let's see what that looks like. I can't seem to see anything that's sort of line-based. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's really, really fine. Okay, I can see it in VR, but it's really, really fine. I wonder if it's possible to make lines thicker. Yeah. Anyway, that's the select distance, so it gives me a rough idea of where it is. But we still need to... hold on, I think my face is gonna hurt. So like there it won't select. Oh, it does select. Oh, lovely. It's gonna be, oh, yeah. It's gonna be like the... What is it? Am I just bad at maths? Yeah, so this is actually working. So apparently for some reason, this is working on radius rather than on yeah, whatever. Maths are weird, and I've always been shit at maths anyway. Whatever. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we need to do one of these. We only need actually distance that and that. And then do something with this. Okay. Control C. Okay, we need min distance S. And so what we're going to do is in this bit with the points. With the points, we're just going to like draw a bigger one so we can see that we're selecting it. Yes. Oh, yeah, actually that's not there at all. That's not here nor there. Okay, actually no, my brain has gone to mush. X, Y, Z, control them in position. We need all of this to there. And so that actually comes into play here. So if the minimum distance is lower than select distance, then we want to draw S. I'm going to draw it bigger. We're going to draw it green. S, S, S. So yeah, I can see that I'm going to select it. We should actually make that a different color when it's selectable. But yeah, so now I can actually see which points are going to be selected before I click, which should make things a bit more intuitive. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. So, as I was saying, different color for that, and maybe if I made these like 1, 5, that one 2. And we want to do something different depending on whether it's selected or not, don't we? So we're not going to be removing, but we do want to do something dependent on that. So we're going to quickly do this. Cool. Is selected equals false. If cell is there, then I selected equals true. So if the one we're looking at is in the selected table, then there's going to be a little difference. And so we can now do a different color. Yeah. This is getting kind of messy, but it's all good. Oh, I'm returning, aren't I? Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so it just gives me a bit of an idea of what's going on. So those are unselected points. Those are selected points. We can kind of see that I'm making them selected, and that's actually shaded now. So if I go ahead and strap myself in, I should be able to do something like this pyramid test I was doing. Put it up. And yeah, we got different colors now, so we can actually see what we're doing. So I can see inside it, and so I want a pyramid, I need to close this off. And so this is actually a really sort of super basic VR modeling tool now. As I said, super basic, but it works, which is nice. lighting's not great. Did the lighting break on this one? I can't see whether there's an inside or not. Oh, check this out. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. So it is making a difference depending on whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise. So we do need to pay attention to that, which means that we do need to get rid of backface culling. Because otherwise, like as you can see, these two triangles are actually the same color. It's just that one of them is not receiving any light because there's backface culling on. So this one is basically pointed that way. So there's like you can imagine an arrow pointing out towards where my cursor is currently, and this one is pointed this way. And because the light is over there, it kind of works. So to do things properly, I need to do this. Which way was it? Yeah, so it needs to be counterclockwise every time. So let's try and do that. I'm going to quickly create a counterclockwise pyramid. So that, and that's actually got like proper lighting to it. Let's do a counterclockwise cube. So wait, what? This makes no sense. So these I'm going to want to be able to sort of drag and move. Oh, that's the point. I want to be able to drag and move these afterwards. Okay, for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the shading and just wireframe this, just so I can get an idea of what's going on. But this kind of sucks. It's kind of annoying. So no shader, and we're going to basically just do two of these. One of them transparent, and one of them with a line. That's not a question mark, should be it. Can't stop it. One of them full color. There we go. So let's just do that. So no shading, so it doesn't really matter whether it's pointed towards the light or not. And the other one, yeah, so let's just do it that way for now. That's exciting. So there's also shape culling. So you see that. There you go. So that those faces are actually blocking, which is why kind of looks dark inside that, because it's trying to figure out which face is in front of which one. So we're going to get some sort of weird effects when we're looking through. That's actually kind of weird because it looks right from some angles, but not others, which is kind of confusing. I kind of wish that was simpler. So there's basically stuff going on to determine stuff about transparency. Yeah, I'm gonna try and, as I said yesterday, have a chat with the developer of this thing. Because as it stands, there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't quite make sense. At least doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't make sense, it's just that I'm not quite understanding the logic behind the whole thing. So see, like, from this angle, we can't see the... Yeah, so it's always blocking, basically. It's always blocking on the inside. Yeah, so it's always blocking this. Is it just simply the order they were drawn in? Okay, so this should be blocked by everything else, but it should not block anything else. It's the order. Oh my god, it's really like Love 2D in that it's going to... So draw operations are blocking. So as you can see, so I drew this second one, this upside down triangle second. So it's drawn in, it is drawn, basically. It's going to be drawn on top of, and because it's transparency, it adds the color of both of those shapes. But if I turn around to this side over here, that triangle is going to block the other one, because I'm drawing this one first, and this one underneath, and so there's a render order going on. I really need a spatial render order, because I'm not going to be drawing triangles in the order I want them to be drawn in, and I'm going to be drawing them just like wherever I happen to be working at the time. And I don't want to have to think about what order I'm doing my operations in. I want to just be able to create shapes and not worry about what order things are drawn in. Yeah, so I need to check that out. Okay. I mean, we're learning stuff about how LOVR handles stuff, which also means I need to draw this. Hang on, it is being drawn last, so where's it? Or is it opposite? So if I draw this first, will it like always appear in front of everything else? Let's try that real quick, yeah? And while we do that, we're just going to quickly go ahead and listen to the other Glassbody album, Rosewood. Go ahead and put that in chat for you. Don't know if anyone's in here right now. Well, apparently there are. So I said I was going to draw the controller first. Like the first thing I'm going to do in this whole operation is draw the controller, and then draw triangles and everything else. Let's see how that works out. So as you saw earlier, when I put the controller through an object that I'd just drawn, it disappeared. What's going to happen this time? Yeah, the controller is always visible. So that's basically what's happening with transparency. Is something that's drawn first becomes blocking for everything that's behind it. So this is going to look kind of weird. Actually kind of hurts my brain a little bit. But basically this triangle here, as I said, the upside down one, is being drawn first. And then it draws that one. Basically just because of the order of operations. It draws, as I said, yeah, it draws the upside down triangle first, then the right side up one. And so this basically writes to the depth buffer and says, okay, I just drew a polygon here, so don't add any more pixels behind this. If there's another pixel in front, then you can go ahead and draw that one if you like. So let's go ahead and just like draw one real quick here. Alright, so it says don't draw any more in front of me because don't draw any more behind me because I drew something here. It's how depth buffer works. Basically, like once it draws a polygon, it adds the points of the polygon to the buffer, and anything that's drawn behind just gets discarded and never drawn. But so as you can see, this one is being drawn because it's being drawn in front of. So anything that's in front is going to be drawn. So if I go ahead and look at this whole scene from the other side. So this one, so again, this one is blocking anything that's been drawn behind it. This one was drawn after this one. So this gets drawn, it adds its colors to the color buffer. And then this one comes along later. And because it's being drawn in front, it goes ahead and adds its color to the buffer, which is a sort of semi-transparent color. Yeah, so it is kind of doing things correctly. But it doesn't really make sense to me because if we're drawing transparently, we need to be able to just say, okay, then draw anyway, like ignore the depth buffer. So that should be in there somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and check the documentation for that. Then we had the problem with colors depending on the orientation, which kind of made no sense earlier on as well, because I think the order I was drawing triangles in was messed up. We'll figure that out in a bit.